Hello everyone, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to make this lovely shaped arched shaker card, and it's so fun, it just shakes. Now this shaker stuff in this one is from my stash, but we are going to use some Stampin' Up shaker material in the one I show you, and it's just a lovely shaped shaker and the whole card is shaped, and you can see it will stand up beautifully. No problems at all, and I think it's just fun, and it will also fit easily within the standard envelope, as you can see here. So you can see here it just fits in the envelope, no problem, through the post. Okay, so I wanted to show you how to make this really fun shaker card, I think. So this card base here is Berry Burst, and we're going to do today a slightly different variation. I've got all my bits cut out here already. We're going to be using, what's the colour of this cardstock? Azure Afternoon. Now all of this was cut out using the Everyday Archers dies. And to make this card I used the largest die here. And then using the second largest die and the third largest die, I created this lovely little frame here from basic white cardstock. And then using this, as you can see here, the second largest die, I cut out a piece of this bokeh, beautiful bokeh designer series paper in this lovely blue. And we're going to keep this piece of white that was from our frame, because this is going to be our insert for the inside of the card. Then I also cut out another piece of window sheet, and this again is from the second largest die. Okay, but you can get the dies and have a real play around with them. They are a gorgeous set of nesting dies, the Everyday Archers dies. There are 10 dies within the pack, and this is an online exclusive, so you won't find it in the catalogue. But if you hop onto my online shop and just click on the category that says online exclusives, you'll find it there, and you can see the link to my online shop in the description box below, and you'll also find the specific item linked there as well. All the measurements and all the supply list will also be linked in the blog post, and you can find the link to that below in addition. Okay, so let's work on our card base. So I've cut 2 of the largest dies, as I said, from the Azure Afternoon. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Now I'm going to line up my trimmer where best as I can. Maybe here is easier. Just keep it straight as best as you can. So I'm just going to line up to roughly the 1 centimetre mark, and then I'm going to score it at that mark there at the very top. Give it a good score, and that's going to create our hinge. Okay, so now I'm going to get my bone folder. I'm going to fold this both ways to get the score line really working nicely. Okay, before I put my card together, I'm going to put down my insert here. I'm going to put it towards the base so it doesn't interfere with the hinge. And I can see a little bit of cardstock there. There we go. A little bit of something on the end there. Get rid of that. Okay, and I'm going to stick this down with some Tombow. I really prefer to use wet glue for this, because it gives you a little bit of wriggle room to get things lined up as you would so wish. So I'm going to get this lined up left to right. I'm going to keep it quite far down towards the base so that it doesn't interfere with the hinge. Okay, then I am going to put a little bit of glue just on this, between the score line and the top of the arch, and I'm going to take both my card pieces here and I'm going to make sure they're lined up, and then pinch at the top, and then keep it all in place and give that a good press down with my bone folder, and that's going to create the hinge, as you can see. So open this out and give it another press. See, no problem. just bring it back together. I obviously haven't given it a good enough press. There we go, and I'm going to leave that now to take before we fiddle with it anymore. Let's work on the shaker element. So we've got our lovely border here, and then we're going to insert our piece of acetate or window sheet. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat so I hopefully don't get glue everywhere. I can see it's still a bit sticky from last time. So what I'm going to do is just move everything out of the way that could be harmed, and then I'm just going to spray this with a little bit of water, and we're just going to clean this up nicely. And then I always keep, wherever I'm crafting, just a microfiber cloth or some sort of cloth I can just wipe messes up with. I use this quite often as well when I'm watercolouring as well, so it's always useful just to have a cloth nearby, not just paper towels but a proper cloth. Okay, give that a good press down. Yeah, that seems fine. Lovely jubbly. Right, clean up, finished, bring everything back. So now we're going to attach our acetate to our frame. So I'm going to put my frame down there, and now you want a very thin bead of glue. So let's see if we can get this working on our craft mat first. Less is definitely more for this. The thinner your bead of glue, the better. There we go, that'll do. And now we're just going to lay our acetate on top. I'm going to try and line it up as best as I can so that my glue doesn't splodge. I'm just going to leave that for a second over there. Bring back our card base just to check everything is okay with it. Yep, now you can see it's had a moment to cure, and it's perfectly fine. There we go. So let's bring this in here. This seems to be okay. So now what we need to do is we need to create our shaker pocket round the arches, and so I'm going to be using some of our foam adhesive strips here. I was just seeing if I had another one, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to take a strip, and you want to take the backings off. If you take the backing off, it is much more malleable and much easier to whatever you call it, mould around your card. So I'm just going to just cut off the excess there. Because it's a corner, I want to really butt this up, but you don't want to have any gaps, because the gaps will allow shaker material through, and you don't want to do that. And you want to make sure you keep off the acetate, well, off the window, so nothing will show. I'm just checking on the other side. Oh, that looks good. And then I'm going to take another piece here. I'm going to take off some of this backing. And just take your time to do this. The minute you feel rushed, stop, because that's when you're liable to make a mistake. And there's no point putting all this effort into making a card and then having to start again. Okay, so there we go. Save this piece that we've got left on my sheet, and then put that there. Okay, get rid of all these bits, give ourselves some space. Okay, so now we've created our shaker pocket, we've got our card base, we've got our backing for our shaker. Let's add some shaker material to our card. And I'm going to use the Itty Bitty Bokeh mix here, so I'm just going to open this ever so carefully because it is stuffed. I'm just going to put some mix in here. Look at that, isn't that lovely? So pretty. Okay, that'll be enough. I'm just going to, oopsie daisy, leave that there. Now I am going to add a little bit of sequins from my own stash. And this is how I stash my sequins. I have them with different colours, so I just want to add a little bit more blue to this one. So I'm going to just open up these sequins, and these are a bit larger, which is also gives us just a different element. Okay, there we go. I think that'll be enough. Yeah, that'll be enough. Let's see. Let's add a few of these as well. Why not? It's going to be quite a full shaker. Lovely. And one of my goals for the last few years has been to try and use up my sequins, because I have, I think, about 4 of these full of sequins, and they really need to get used up. So this is a great way to use up. Now I'm going to take up the back, the beautiful bokeh. That's going to be the back on my shaker. Fit it over the top here. You want to make sure it touches well all of that adhesive. And now I'm going to go over that adhesive with my bone folder, and I'm going to give it a really good, because adhesive is always pressure activated, so if you can give it a good press down, it is going to cure better. And then give it a pinch if you want. But we can see here, nothing's falling out. That's a good sign. Isn't that fun? So now we can stick to the back of our card. So I'm going to use a goodly amount of Tombow. This is not light. It's not just a piece of paper. And then I'm going to centre this on the front of our card. So the front of the card is the side without the hinge we didn't score. You're going to just centre it in that stitch line. And then I'm going to just go to the back, because I find it easier this way. And just give it a press down. And there you have your fun shaker arch shaped card. Isn't that fun? I love it, and I don't mind that some of it has got stuck at the top. I like that because it means it doesn't all fall to the bottom when you are sending it, which is just gives it a little bit more interest, I think. Let's do a little bit of decoration. Start off, I'm going to use the fully flowering here. What are these called? Fully flowering ephemera packs, and we're going to just look for something nice to decorate here. Well, actually first let's find a sentiment, and then we know how much space we've got. Right, we want a sentiment. Oh, I like this one here. Sending Sunshine. So let's look for a nice piece of floral. What about this piece here? It's nice in yellow. I know we don't have yellow anywhere else in the card, but I think that would look really nice. So I'm going to cut off some of this piece at the bottom here. Just like that. Don't be afraid to cut your ephemeras in pieces so that you can use them and make them fit to what you want. They're just paper, so don't be afraid of them. Okay, so close all of that up. And did I say the greeting came from the Greetings for All ephemera pack? Now I'm going to put this here, I think, and I'm going to stick this down just with some seal, and it's because I don't really feel that the Tombow will do well on the shiny surface. It's going to just smooth and run around. So I'm going to put this down here. I don't care if some of it falls over the side of the card, it will still fit in the envelope. And then I'm going to put this one here, say Sending Sunshine. So let's put this down here. I'm just keeping it like that. You still see the rest of the shaker. I think that is just so cute. So there are two ideas for how to make a shaker shaped art shaped card. This is a piece that shouldn't be here, but anyway, let me just get rid of that interloper. Okay, so there you've got Berry Burst and Azure Afternoon. You can tell me which one you prefer in the comments below. But thank you for staying with me and learning how to make these art-shaped shaker cards. If you wanted more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, it's all on the blog post, and the link to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!